institution money saying what comes next. Oh, the market's waking up today. Tokenized future on the way. From Wall Street banks to the crypto flow. Web3 breakfast. Here we go. BlackRock moving deeper in the game. Leverage loans with a digital flame. Tokenization heating up the race. Who's gonna run the future of finance? Solana speed and the clarity, regulators trying to catch up to that. Tokenized stocks could change the play. Trade all night, not just through the day. Oh, the market's waking up today. Tokenized future on the way. From Wall Street banks to the crypto flow. Web3 breakfast. Here we go. Listen. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. SEC sending frameworks to the White House floor, trying to define what these tokens are for. Meanwhile, Congress still can't agree. Crypto bill stuck in gridlock, you see. Then the headline everybody's talking about. XRP $1,000 dream getting loud. Maybe it's hype, maybe it's fake. But the crypto world don't ever wait. Trade. Ooh, the market's waking up today. Tokenized future on the way. From Wall Street banks to the crypto flow. Web3 breakfast. Let's go. Hey. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Hey. Morning Macro. Yeah. J Chain's in the building. Let's run the news. Wake up, check the chart, check the news, check the flow. Bitcoin holding strong while the world moving slow. Macro on the screen, yeah, we breaking down the code. W3BC, where the real ones go. Wake up, check the chart, check the news, check the flow. Institution buying while the retail sell low. Tokenize the world, yeah, the future getting close. W3BC, let's run the morning macro. Bitcoin standing tall while the markets fall apart. War on the TV, but the chain still start. BlackRock buying deals, yeah, the smart money lurk. While the paper hands panic when the candles go berserk. Japan test chain for the banks in the east. Hong Kong tokenism, real estate for the streets. They still building while the red must stack. RWA boom, bringing real value back. Stablecoin rules, yeah, the feds gotta talk. Trump me, Coinbase, while the bankers all squat. Uniswap, win court, can't stop the code. It's the new financial system getting ready to explode. Wake up, check the chart, check the news, check the flow. Bitcoin holding strong while the world moving slow. Macro on the screen, yeah, we breaking down the code. W3BC, where the real ones go. Wake up, check the chart, check the news, check the flow. Institution buying while the retail sell low. Talking about the world, yeah, the future getting close. W3BC, let's run the morning macro.
Yo, there it is, GM guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is just, going well in the world of crypto and everything. It is Thursday. It is March 5th. I keep saying May for some reason. I just totally bypassed April. But I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for being here. The chat is active. My gosh. Got the homies in the building. Let's go. Curtis picking up the gold medal today. Boom, sir. Taking that from Brian. I think he's gonna be here extra early tomorrow to make sure that don't happen again. So the chat was open a little extra early today. Just in case you guys ever want to hop in and chit chat with us, smash the like button on your way in here. Cheers to the morning, happy coffee. Not happy coffee, but cheers to coffee. Cheers to the caffeine that is in the coffee. Getting us ready. I've been at my desk for a few hours though. I told you I was up early. I went to bed early again. I really like going to bed early and waking up early. It's working out well for me. I'm enjoying that, especially with the show at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, what else? Who else we got here? We got Curtis. We got Brian. We got Carrie in the building. Boom, Carrie was in here early. Okay, let's go. My guy, Michael Navarro. There we go. Who else we got? I want to make sure I say what's up to everybody that is here. David B. Let's go, GM sir. Appreciate you being here again. Appreciate you all being here. My gosh. Steve Hickey. Steve Hickey. Steve, long time. Yeah, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being back. Let's get it. All right, there you go. That's just about everybody in the chat ski. Woo! Thursday, am I right? We're almost through. Got a lot of things going on today. Let's see. What are some of our major headlines? Let me go down to the top here. We got XRP hitting $1,000. Man, I was $10. Some of these XRP people are crazy. We'll get through this. We're gonna get through all of this, but XRP $1,000. Kraken. This is big news. This will be the first story we get through. Kraken becoming the first crypto firm to win access to the Fed's core payment system. So that's big time. The crypto bill is hit a new pause, making sure we got to get through that to see what the future holds for some crypto bills. Morgan Stanley going to be launching a new Bitcoin ETF. That is great. Tokenization is accelerating. We know that. We see the statistics. We go through those every day. We go through rwa.xyz every single day. And at the end of the day, tokenization is going to be massive. And I'm sure we got a lot more to learn. A lot of people have a lot more to learn. I'm going to go ahead and put that background music on now. You all got to tell me, because when I went to and watched some of the replay, the music seemed a little loud. And so if the music in the background music is a little loud, y'all got to tell me that, because we don't want to disrupt the whole thing. We just want a little something in the background so it's not obnoxious, though. Just to fill some of the background void, if there is any. I try to do my best to continue speaking the whole time. Yeah, sometimes we'll take a chat break. You never know. Gotta read the chats. All right. So not a lot. Oh, we got more headlines. Let's see. That was the tokenization accelerating. U.S. oversight's going to keep pace. We got to stay ahead. The U.S. has got to keep going. Solana could be a Clarity Act winner. We got to check into that. See what's going on there. Looking at tokenized stocks, we'll look at that. The SEC submitting framework to the White House on applying securities laws to crypto assets. BlackRock expands access to U.S. leveraged loan market with an index ETF. Very interesting. We'll take some glances at those. We got a bunch of headlines to look at, lots of charts, lots of information. We're going through some stuff today. It is Thursday, so chances are probably not going to do a whole lot of trading today. A lot of the liquidity dries up Thursday and Friday, and then into the weekend for now. Things may change in the future, but we talked about this last night on Trade Daddies, and if you guys get an opportunity, go back and watch the replay. That'd be great. We had Bits of Wealth on. Really good to chat with him, have another perspective of what's going on. But we do that show Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. This is something we talked about. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays are really your good trading days. Mondays, there's a lot of fake outs. There's a lot of bullshit that happens on Mondays. There's good volatility. If you're paying attention, you can stick by the charts and you're watching it closely. You can do pretty well. I do trade on Mondays. I trade on. I don't have a problem trading any day, but we'll see. Today may be a learning day, a structure day. We'll see. An admin day, as they say. Plus, I get to take my daughter to like a Ninja Warrior class or something like that. Very excited about that. We've been looking forward to this for the entire week. So, good morning. All right, let's do this. Let's get into a little bit of information. We'll go to the news and the numbers. All right, we've got the crypto fear and greed index up here. As you can see, we're a little bit different than it was yesterday. And what's interesting, excuse me, is that this clearly, by the time the show was over, we had a big discrepancy between what CoinGlass was showing and what CoinMarketCap was showing. And as it turns out, by the time the show was over, they were more aligned. And I would have noticed that, CoinMarketCap will sometimes make an adjustment to their numbers in the afternoon. There'll be a big change. And so I'm wondering if we, because it was the morning, maybe we just caught the before the change, before the update. You would think it's something that would be a little bit more fluid, but it's not, unfortunately. I don't believe that, the fear and greed index is a fluid gauge. I believe that is something that they publish updates to. I don't know what the frequency is. But currently at a 21, much better than the single digits we were at and we were showing. I mean, it showed a 9 yesterday morning. And then again, when I refreshed it, it was back up to like 18 or 19, whatever CoinMarketCap was showing, but a little bit better. We can all, sleep well at night, knowing that if we bought the extreme fear, might be going up in price. Let's see. Let's go to CoinMarketCap to see. Somebody said it's 29. Yeah, 29 on CoinMarketCap. Here you go. You can see right there, fear and greed index. So it is a little different. Definitely coming in with a much different number there. Altcoin season, as you know. All right. Still think the music may be a little bit loud. You guys tell me if the music was awful yesterday. Okay. You know what? Here we go. I'm with you. I thought the same thing. So let me do this. I've got morning macro. Let me remove this. All right, and let's just okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That's not what I want. This is what I want. This is just some background music. So hopefully this will be better. This should, we can probably loop this. Enable repeat. Okay. So tell me in the chat if this ends up sucking, man. Just say something. But let me know. The horn. That's my captain ship. That is the Captain Chains, the pirate. Where are we at? Look at this. Bitcoin creeping up. Yesterday it was 21%. Today it's 20.18%. Bitcoin is down that much over the last 100 days. That's our North Star. Bitcoin in the shrimp and boats. See, when we go out on the boats, we gotta have a North Star because it gets dark at night, and this is our North Star is the Bitcoin. So anything that has performed terribly compared to Bitcoin, look, we know there's an opportunity here. That's our shrimp. That's our bottom feeding opportunities. You can go if you're a Charles fan, if you're a Cardano fan, you can get yourself some midnight. We still have Ondo moved up a little bit, but it is still down here. You got Ondo, you got VeChain. VeChain sitting in the shrimping category. Maybe we should get some more VeChain. Some Sui, some Zcash. Man, remember when this thing was fucking $700 something? Well, what does it show? 642 here, but if we went to like the actual charts, it was going to be way higher than that. Holy Toledo. All right. What else is down here? Yeah, I always like the bigger numbers, right? Because then that's the bigger opportunity. Like, we got to figure out, like, whatever happened with midnight. Like, why is midnight so far down? You know, if you go and look at the chart, this thing's wrecked. The all-time chart, wrecked. What happened? Like, what in the world happened? We'll have to do a deep dive. Remind me that I need to do a deep dive into midnight and see what the hell happened. This looks like a rug pull on a meme coin. You know? So, and I thought this was the saving grace for whatever they're doing. I went to a couple midnight events. I got some swag. I got it to give to my mom. I got a water bottle. I got I believe a hat. Some other stuff. So next time I go to Chicago, which I believe maybe next week, we're probably going to next week. We're going to do a little celebratory thing for my new nephew. Super cute, this little kid. He's holy Toledo. Born with a ton of hair. He's such a cutie. My new Neff. I'm Unk. He's Neff. Let's go. For Few. Unk and Few. That's what it was. The little rap deal. Anyway. They sold their airdrop. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, Midnight sold their airdrop. There you go. Or I assume maybe the people sold their airdrop on Midnight. All right, let's get into our first article. This was the big one. I think this is one of the more important ones right here. Let me scroll back down to where I would like to be for my notes. All right, this is where Kraken becomes the first crypto firm to win access to the Fed's core payment system. The master account approval gives firm access to the same payment rail as thousands of banks and credit unions. We made it, boys. Boys and gals. There are some girls in here in this space now. Boys and girls, we made it. We made it. We got access to the Fed now. Crypto is in. We are in. Jokes aside, this is a massive opportunity. It's the massive opportunity to get integration into the U.S. banking system. It's going to connect crypto. It puts crypto a lot closer than where we've ever been to the adoption, the scalability that, I mean, what do we get into the space for? To make money, right? Like ultimately, and if you can get some major mass adoption going, that'll pump your bags in a different way than just having the institutions come in. I mean, again, we talk about you think about all the different ways that crypto could have an event to bring people in, right? What is mass adoption? What is that? Do we need to hit a critical mass to hit mass adoption? No, there's no like, okay, if we can get 250 million wallets, we did it, man. We hit mass adoption. No, because that's not a true metric. It was always the idea of if you can, it was some of the things we'd say, you use the tech without, realizing that you're using it. I think gaming has a really big opportunity there. And a lot of different parts of the ecosystem have massive opportunities. But when you think about banking, and you guys have heard me say this before, like, okay, so a great catalyst for crypto to become mass adopted at a retail level back again, right? Because, institutions, they're already dipping their toes in. We see this. The big corporations are doing their stuff. Nation states, sovereign wealth funds are doing their stuff. But retail is what's missing because they keep getting shaken out. They keep getting screwed. They keep getting hacked and diced and wamboozled and robbed and all sorts of shit. And that needs to go away. And so now a lot of degens have a better idea of safeguarding, and we understand the rules and all stuff. So like, I'm probably not speaking to you, but like, if you're new to this space, then you get this idea of, okay, so custody is really good for some people. Self-custody is not the right solution for everybody. We all should know that. We should understand that. And so with banks having the opportunity to offer custody to retail clients, that would be the game changer right there. That gives everybody immediate access to crypto. If you have a bank account, Granny, that's my always example, is Granny can go to the bank and she can allocate part of your inheritance, part of her savings, your inheritance at your direction. Say, Granny, I want you to go to the bank. I know you're going to give me some money when you pass. I want you to go to the bank, and I want you to tell them to put that into Bitcoin. See what Granny says. That's what I would do. But we'll see. Just a little bit. But when it happens, right? I thought it was going to happen a little bit sooner than it probably will. But look, if Kraken is in, I mean, it's happening. David says that's a huge step. Only the elites are in Fed now, which has been a lot of capital movement that is 24/7, 365. It's only the chosen ones. Been like crypto a long time. Only for elites. It's changing. Times are changing. Jay in the building. What's up, Midas? What's up, Midas? All right. So let's see. That is a massive stone. So crypto is not going to replace the end of the moral of the story here is crypto at this particular moment is not going to replace the legacy financial system, but it is currently merging with it. Take that what you will. All right. The next article that I want to bring up, DC Burr, we still early. Yeah, dang right. We still early. Morgan Stanley seeking approval for the Bitcoin ETF. Now, some of the things we want to talk about here, major Wall Street firm expanding crypto offerings. We know that Morgan Stanley is a household name. Everybody understands who they are. This signals that there's going to be more institutional demand. I mean, we can't be more clear about what's going on there. You know, and again, like the alerts that I get that I set myself up for right now is institutionally based, right? Is because that's where the activity is. And once we see retail come back, we can start talking about more of that. But for right now, we got to understand, you know, this is where it's at. And so the more and more major firms that you see talking about crypto, that you see offering products that are crypto related, Bitcoin ETF included, is massive. And here we go. And let's go to, this is something when I was looking at this morning, pulling up all this information was, look, we've been talking about it. Look, here's we can go switch over to crypto in a second. But right now we're looking at just Bitcoin ETFs here, these spot ETFs. We have a net inflow of a ton of fucking Bitcoin. All yesterday was huge positive inflows, right? BlackRock, the last 3 days, all this week has been inflow. What do we do? What do we do? What do you do when you see that? What do? You swim. You go swimming. You swim with the whales. And it's evident. We're seeing some of the price go up. We're seeing some activity there. And so remember the correlation. And this is that chart. Look, I can zoom in over here for you. Look what's happening. As we're starting to see, remember, when we look at the consolidation of inflow versus outflow in correlation to the Bitcoin price, look what happens. Nice and low. There is nothing going on right here. It's just a little bit back and forth. And then boom, lot of inflow, price rips up. We get into a lot more outflow right here. Price dips. Man, I wish this thing would go away. I want that thing to go away. That's annoying the shit out of me. All right. And then let's get a little bit closer to where we are right now. And I know that it can go up and down. It's very clear. It can go like right here, zoop, 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 and go, change direction really fast. But look what we've got go right here. We bottomed out early February right here as far as this price action goes. And then as far as a lot more of the outflow activity, we've started to ramp up inflow activity. And what is going on with the price? It is curling up from the 60s back up to the 70s. We're at 70. Where's my Bitcoin chart? Where's my Bitcoin chart? Okay. 72,360. That was a big push yesterday, and that held. Man, I'll tell you what. I was with in a group with a bunch of guys. We were putting in shorts last night, expecting everything was showing. It was exhausted that this thing was going to dip back down, and I'll tell you what. this sucker held. It has been holding this level. I would have expected it to drop down back into kind of where we before the pump, or like right around the pump, like the beginning of the pump, like low 71s. But it never did that, man. It just held. It held strong. It held strong. All right, we were here. I think that's it as far as the ETF stuff goes for Bitcoin. So obviously the moral of the story is buy some Bitcoin because all the ETFs are loading up. They got inflows. You got your crypto ETFs. We'll go check out all of them. Here we go. Then must be an information error because these are all coming up zero. Let's look at all. See, we're starting to get a little bit thicker. Look at this. And on the 7-day, the 30-day has been pretty balanced. Pretty balanced as far as the 30-day goes. The 7-day is looking pretty good. So you got to start somewhere. We'll build up from there. All right, let's look at our next article here. BlackRock is expanding tokenized markets to U.S. leveraged loan market with the index ETF. We have been excited for a long time. Oh, by the way, I see the code. If you want to get trading, I'm gonna talk to my guy at BitUnext. We're gonna have a new like, what's the word I'm looking for? Incentive, sign up bonus, all that stuff for joining. I'm not sure what it is going to be quite yet. We did a deposit bonus for the first. It was a 20% deposit bonus for the first group of people who joined us. Shout out to everybody who did. Remember, I need to make sure that you get me your UID numbers so that we can connect. I can get you in the Discord. I'll be sending the link out for that a little bit later today so that we can get some people in the Discord. That is just going to be for some of the insiders. I know that there's a few in there. I want to get a few more people in there, get some of the chit chat going, and then get that activity ramped up. And then my goal was to launch it next week. Now, I told you a little bit ago that I'm probably going to be going to Chicago next week. And so I think in all reality, if I go to Chicago next week, I will launch the Discord the week following, because then it gives me the opportunity to be attentive to what I'm there for. And then gives me a few extra days to finalize some things and put some stuff together. So, you always get one shot to make a first impression. And so I want to make sure that we get everything lined up. We're doing it right, and we're ready to go. And so that being said, I will determine, probably in the next couple days here, if next week is Chicago or not. If I'm not going to Chicago, then we will launch next week at some point, and more TBD on that. David says likes the look of the 4 and the 12 hour. All right, let's get back in. We'll check that out in a second. Turn this down just a little bit, or maybe that's my. How is the music level good? It was loud here for a second. But. All right, BlackRock expands access to U.S. leveraged loan market with index ETF. Excited to read this one. BlackRock today announced the launch of the iShares Broad USD Floating Rate Loan ETF. USLN is the code there. The firm's first index-based ETF providing access to U.S. dollar-denominated leveraged loans. U.S. leveraged loan market has grown to $1.4 trillion. Okay. Let's see. We're going to track the Morningstar LSTA U.S. leveraged loan broad select index and invest primarily in senior secured loans, a historically hard to reach fixed income sector ETF. Okay. The leveraged loan market has scaled significantly, and client demand for efficient index-based access to this asset class has grown in step. And this comes from Steve Liaplay, the global co-head of iShares fixed income ETFs at BlackRock. USLN expands the toolkit for portfolio construction by pairing the potential benefits of indexing with exposure to a core segment of the credit markets that has traditionally been difficult to reach. All right. There you go. Traditional finance still building products around blockchain rails. Good to see that. leveraged loan markets. They are absolutely massive if we can get in on the crypto into that. And it shows, and this is showing institutional appetite for digitized securities. All right. The narrative here, Wall Street is slowly rebuilding financial infrastructure on digital rails. All right. I can jive on that. Remember, I'm not like a lot of people think like, oh, BlackRock's the enemy. Like, let's swim with the whales, man. Swim with the fucking whales. Stop being a hater. This isn't it's not the time to be getting let's see here. What's next? Tokenization is accelerating. Here we go. I love tokenization. You guys know that. It was back in, golly, was it November of 2024? I want to say it was November of 2024. I had made a conscious effort to change some of the focus of what I was doing to concentrate more on tokenization, RWAs, and to get out of metaverse gaming, some of the more fun, I don't know what word you would want to use there, segments of the ecosystem. Cheers. Coffee. Morning. Best part of waking up is smash the like button. So, all right. Tokenization accelerating. U.S. oversight must keep pace. If we don't stay ahead of the game, what are we going to do? Key takeaway. Tokenization is bringing traditional finance assets into blockchains at scale. The opportunity is enormous. As we know, the U.S. oversight frameworks need to evolve just as fast. It's like a catch-22. Been here for a while. I've seen the shift from a movement to the industry to the ecosystem that is part of the global financial ecosystem. So I get when people are upset about, look, this is crypto. What is the government doing trying to regulate it? What is the government trying to do to put laws? And it's peer-to-peer. That's what Satoshi's vision was and all that stuff. But we've gotten bigger than that, unfortunately. And I think that's one of the conversations that's best had definitely with a group of people that have been here, because you can get the ethos, you can get the idea, you can get the perspective of why people got here in the first place, and ultimately watching the narrative change, watch the ecosystem shift over time. Again, and like I explained, and you guys probably, and some of you have witnessed this as well. And I'll use the example that you hear from me is the Bitcoin conference. And early on, going to the Bitcoin conference, when it was still somewhat of a movement, it's a lot different than it is now. It was probably, and I like to say it was probably in between the COVID pause. So between 2019 and 2021, it definitely shifted. And, it became more suits. It became more executives. It became more corporate, after COVID, instead of, just like miners and talking about mining and stuff, like they started bringing in like trailers, like semi-truck trailers, these mining facilities, these massive conference halls, just filled to the gills with big time operations, thousands of people, not a movement anymore. Certainly again, from an industry turned into an industry, and then now clearly it's becoming part of the global financial ecosystem. So, digital assets are shifting from speculation to infrastructure. Absolutely. The most consequential trend at the start of 2026 wasn't a new meme coin or the latest stable coin. It was the rapid advance of tokenization, which is bringing traditional financial assets onto blockchains. Federal regulators have already begun responding to this shift. JP Morgan's tokenized settlement network now processes billions. Franklin Templeton, they've got a tokenized money market fund, and that is continuing to grow. Assets can settle more quickly, move between platforms with fewer intermediaries, and act with a multitude of systems at once. Gaps are already showing. Policy choices matter. The good news is not blockchain data, when properly analyzed, provides a founder with stronger, not weaker, oversight than traditional models. Tokenization is already here. We know that. We know that. The transformation underway is not digital assets themselves, but the redefinition of infrastructure of trust. Tokenization will not succeed because it is new. It will succeed because it earns and keeps the market's confidence, and it automates things. The question, here we go. The question for the U.S. and global policymakers is no longer whether tokenization is coming. It's already here. The question is whether systems of oversight will evolve fast enough to keep pace. And for a country whose financial leadership has long depended on the integrity and enforceability of its markets, the stakes are simple. Either the U.S. builds the safeguards that tokenized market demand, or inherits the vulnerabilities it failed to anticipate. Boom. When you think about like having to adapt to survive in in this like entire financial ecosystem, this global ecosystem changing and moving. And so like what we said before, like crypto, it was, you know, the message, crypto is not what was the line that we got up here? Crypto isn't replacing the financial ecosystem, they're merging together. And I believe that is probably what you're going to see a lot more with the tokenization. You know, we all had high hopes, high dreams, high expectations, smoking some hopium. You know, when RWAs first came out, and you see some of the projects that, you know, were pushing the RWA tokenization narrative, and it was just trying to catch on the buzz, trying to catch on, you know, because there was momentum and I think the problem with a lot of crypto is that projects would never intend to ship, right? Like never at all. They just want to hop in, grab the money, and then just move on to the next meta. We've seen a lot of that. We saw that with metaverse. We saw that with gaming. We saw that with NFTs. NFT music was, oh man, laughable. NFTs as music as NFTs. Yo, I'm gonna pay $25 for one fucking song. That's smart. I pay $9.99 a month or whatever it is for Apple Music, and I have access to every song on the fucking planet, with the exception of like the woke artists that don't want their song on Apple for whatever reason. But like, was it like Willie Nelson or something? Or not Willie Nelson, Neil Young, something. I don't know, something. Anyway, we're gonna get back in. Tokenization could make Solana a Clarity winner act. Tokenized gold surges on Solana, reinforcing the Clarity Act bull thesis. Now that's pretty good for all my Solana fans. One vote of confidence from Trump was enough to flip the market back into risk-on mode, with capital flooding into risk assets and big cap coins pushing past key resistance levels. Solana, notably, this followed his pro-crypto stance, which signaled the government's push for the Clarity Act. Instead, they're responding to fundamentals. Here we go. I still think, look, do I have Solana pulled up? Pull Solana up. Do I still have this thing marked up? I do. It's going up. Okay. All right. Well, then I take it back. Because look, this is what I had drawn. Now, this could just be a little fake out before the breakdown. Little shake out. But look, this was the measured move that I had going. We were in this range, and, you know, maybe we could swing that up. Maybe we can change some of this stuff here. But anyway, so I had this thing going down to about $20. Solana at about $20. Obviously, it's trying to break out of, you know, of this pattern here, and so Maybe it won't happen. Maybe it will happen. If we do see a larger breakdown of the entire ecosystem, remember, a lot of people are talking that it's just a short-term relief. And there's not going to be an altcoin season. There's no fucking reason for an altcoin season. There is no catalyst. There is no reason. Just inflated the just got the entire crypto market saturated with too many stupid fucking coins. There will never be another altcoin season unless we kill off a lot of these projects that don't do shit. But for that to go from where we are now to about the bottom of this range is enough. Actually, 76%. That would seem crazy. That would seem crazy. That would make the entire move from here to there an 85% move. Maybe if it's a bear market, 80% is, that's from the all-time high, right? So we gotta let's measure it from here actually. 73%. That might have been it. That could have been the bottom. Morning, Ren 1010. Hope you are doing well. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody here. They still do NFT music. I know they still do NFT music, but like I got like what feels like robbed buying NFT music from people. I was supposed to, for life, I was gonna get the monthly drop and access to the concerts, and you're. I haven't seen a single song in years. Name of the game, though. NFTs. The Litecoin conference was fun. We did Litecoin Summit this last year. It always got, it's Charlie's there. A lot of the old school dudes from the Litecoin are there. They show up, so it's a cool spot. I definitely enjoyed going to the Litecoin Summit last year for sure. Last couple of years. All right, where are we in our? Let's take a look at this. Why you should look at tokenized stocks as a portfolio tool. I didn't read this article, just, I just want to know about tokenized stocks a little bit more. I don't do a whole lot of stock trading. I have bought, I've bought some stocks in my Cash app. But, I've not done any of the X stock. I've not done any of the Ondo Global Market stuff. I have not tried any of that. And so I want to learn more about it because obviously we all need to diversify. And, if we're doing the right thing, we're making the right decisions for ourselves and our family, we got to be informed on everything. And so, look, I got to learn more about these tokenized stocks. So let's go. Tokenized stocks sit in a familiar part of investing. People want equity exposure, cleaner execution, and access outside the 9 to 4 Eastern window. Sounds like crypto. Just going to get more Bitcoin. The wrapper looks modern. The investment questions stay old-fashioned. What exactly do you hold? How does settlement happen? How quickly can you exit when markets move? Let's see. Finance magnets repeat the 25 billion milestone in the same timeline. Coin market caps recap on-chain participation figures. Investors checklist for any largest offering claim. A scale claim becomes investable information when it answers 4 investor needs: liquidity evidence, breadth evidence, structure evidence, portability evidence. All right, so here's the stats. Here's some stats. 25 billion, over 25 billion total transaction volume in under 8 months counted across centralized exchange activity, decentralized exchange activity, plus mint and redemption. 3.5 billion on-chain volume included inside that milestone framing. 80,000 unique on-chain holders. 8 of the top 11 tokenized equities by unique holders held by X stocks as of February 7th, 2026. 68% of the top 25 token stocks by unique holders held by X stocks as of February 17th, 2026. and about 225 million aggregate assets under management across X stocks per Kraken. This stuff, these products just launched, like they just have been launching, and so I know that people have been chomping at the bit to get access, and so volume tells you the rails carry traffic. It also tells you traders return because one-time curiosity rarely produces sustained totals of that scale. Kraken's inclusion of mint and redemption inside the total matters because it captures activity in the issuance channel as well as secondary trading. Execution outside standard U.S. hours. This is going to be one of the bigger things that see how this goes because I think the New York Stock Exchange was supposed to go 24/5 this month, February last month. That was the reporting last year, and it never happened. Came and went, never happened, and so we'll see. Investors who rebalance around earnings, macro prints, or global sessions value continuous access. Tokenized wrappers target that use case. Okay. Smaller adjustments, tighter process control, portability is part of operations. Okay. Let's see. The 24/7 trading potential, fractional ownership, and global accessibility. I honestly, I need to get more involved in understanding what is going on with the Ondo global markets, because that, to me, I feel like is a bigger opportunity. I'm more aligned with what they're building and what they're doing, and so I'm gonna do a deep dive into that. I need to get a pen for my desk. I had one, but I believe. All right. Look into Ondo global markets. Let's do let's see if we can get someone actually on from Ondo to have a conversation. A lot of popular stocks got tokenized and added to the crypto exchanges last month. Yeah, a lot of it. There's a lot of activity going on in this. It's really, again, the tokenization, bringing finance on chain is a huge undertaking. It's a massive opportunity. Listening to some of these people talk, these institutions talk. In New York earlier this year was very, very interesting, because going back this year, remember, I went last year to the Ondo Summit and I went again this year, and it was a lot of the same people, and it was interesting when you hear the perspective of what they said in 2025 versus what they're saying in 2026. There was a lot of interest, there was a lot of we're looking at this, we're doing this. For instance, I believe it was Ryan Rugg from Citi. She to the tune of was saying, in 2025, they tried their first $1 million transaction, right? And as they learn and grow and scaled the operation, she said now in 2026, or at least towards the tail end of last year into this year, it's like multiple $1 billion transactions. Like, the machine is running a little bit different. So what the institutions have put together in the last 12 months was a lot of curated thought in execution, and it was really, really interesting to see them talk about this stuff again from that perspective of knowing that a year earlier it was a lot of we're interested, we're testing the waters, we're talking to people, we're asking questions, and now we're seeing a lot more actual activity. So all right, let's go back. SEC submits framework to the White House on applying securities laws to crypto assets. Here's the quick take. We love the quick take here. Quick take in the morning always gives us the juice that we need. The SEC submitted an interpretive guidance to the White House outlining how securities laws could be applied to crypto. The CFTC also recently submitted a measure on prediction markets, aligning with Chairman Selig's earlier speech on setting clear standards for the emerging sector. Let's see. Could this change the enforcement? This is what I'm saying. Let's see. The SEC submitted. We know commission interpret. Let's see. How can we get rid of that? We got a commission interpretation on application of the federal securities laws to certain types of crypto assets and certain transactions involving crypto. That's a long fucking title. Jeez Louise. Commission interpretation on, I don't need to count the words. It's way too many. Way too many words for a title. Ain't nobody got time for that. While the White House's Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs provides limited details about the interpretation on its website, Bloomberg reported that it likely focuses on establishing token taxonomy. Okay, such jurisdictional clarity would affect how crypto firms register with regulators, fulfill disclosure requirements, conduct operations, and engage with investors. We need, in order for crypto to not experience what it has and what I just said earlier, where we've got this absolute insane amount of cryptocurrency coins. Look, I don't know if I can zoom. Yeah, it will. Look down here. 36.89 million. 36.89 million coins. Nobody needs that many. Nobody needs that many coins. And the industry would be much better off if that never happened. And so let's figure out a way to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. Because okay. So let's take this back just a little bit, because you guys know what I had said about like Bob the plumber and his coin, right? And how we can revolutionize small business. You could, definitely increase like the stable coin game, right? Because these technically would be stable coins because it's just tied one to one for your business. Like you're just caring about the market cap. Like you don't care about your price of your coin going to $1,000. It's a buck. It's a buck. $1 is $1. $1 is $1. Like that's good. And you can. There's got to be ways to make money off of that, of your market cap going up versus just, having like just a stock in your company that is a crypto and, and the value goes up based on the more people that use it, maybe with staking. I don't know. You figure it all out. Maybe you have a 2-token ecosystem, whatever it may be. But the whole idea of, why am I here at Coin Market Cap? That took my mind away from where I was. My bad, guys. Smash the like button. That's funny. Fleeting moment. Only a few years ago, 19,000 coins seemed insane. Billions. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when in 20. Definitely. Back to like 2018, 2019, when it was like 2,000, 3,000. That's why you had altcoin runs. That's why meme coin season was a real thing. Not everybody can launch a meme coin and it goes to $1 billion market cap, even though everybody thought they could. Everybody thought they could just launch the next biggest thing, and that's why we've got a gazillion fucking coins. And that's why you've got absolute dilution in this entire ecosystem. And you got a bunch of trapped liquidity because people, even if they put in, say they put in $100 to them, $100. Nobody should have probably ever put that many in on some of these shitters, but it is what it is. So say you put in $100 and it rugged to nothing. Well, that value was locked liquidity because those coins were never going to go anywhere. And so now you've got coins that are never going to go anywhere. They're going to sit in people's wallets. It's going to just haunt them. You just got to just dust them. Just sell all that shit. It's never coming back. Some of the bigger coins are never coming back. That's one of the harder things for people to deal with as well. Is like, look, some coins are not coming back. I don't think Cardano is going to be a comeback story. I could be wrong. Let's look at Cardano. It's got to be in the losers here somewhere. Everybody knows you're a loser. Everybody knows you're a loser. Tell me it's all right, ADA. Cardano. 27 cents. Look at the weekly. Look at the monthly. The yearly. Oof. Last year, at this time, it was 94 cents. It is now 27 cents. Last 24 hours, not a whole lot of juice, but the markets, nothing's really performing that well. Yesterday was a pretty good day for Bitcoin and some other coins doing some digits, some big digits. But I just don't see Cardano coming back like it once was. That's for sure. Here, we talked about this earlier. Let's talk into this article here. Crypto bill hits new impasse, raising doubts over its future. Trump says banks trying to undermine the bill. Banks say provision the bill could cause deposit flight. Crypto firms want law passed quickly before midterm elections. Let's see, where's the juice at? There you go. That was a Tandem Wallet ad, and I have one down here. Just so you know, there it is. Ho, look at that. That's good timing. That is just absolutely random how that worked out. But there you go. Get yourself a Tandem wallet, a Tangem wallet. Tangem wallets. Use code JChains. You can go get yourself a nice little discount, and you've got access to, I think you could do a 2-card pack or you could do a 3-card pack. It's always good to have a couple redundancies. And then look, you got yourself some cold storage. This is a great time. Now is the time to get yourself a new cold storage wallet, especially, if you've been going through connecting to contracts, buying NFTs, all that stuff. You want to make sure that you got a fresh wallet when you start a new session. And so we're going to be going into this run with clean everything, clean wallets, clean cold storage, all that stuff. So get it now. Use code JChains. Save yourself a couple bucks, and let's go. Join the squad over on the trade team as well. That one will come up in a little bit. That's the BitU next one. I see some of the homies joining up in there. All right, let's get back into this because this is about the Clarity Act. Crypto companies have been operating in a regulatory gray area, which executives say has stymied their businesses. I mean, especially when you got Gary G. When he was at the helm, they were definitely anti-crypto. Now we got pro-crypto. Let's fix this. Let's make it move forward. Let's make it a big thing here. And then obviously, we set the tone here in the United States with some of this policy stuff, and this will give us a more broad acceptance around the world, and hopefully from there a better chance at becoming integrated into regular life, which that's ultimately what we want. And that's the ultimate. That's the bag. Pack your bag for that moment. Let's see. The bill stalled in January. Coinbase, we know that they were involved in this. White House last month stepped in to broker a deal. Here we go. In a statement, the American Bankers Association said lenders had offered constructive ideas to advance the bill without impairing deposits. The risk to economic growth and financial stability are real if policymakers don't get this right. I think more likely the risk to the banking industry, their stability and future longevity, is if their constituents don't get this right. Because look, that was the whole thing about the stable coins in the a couple years ago. Like, you could get 12% on your stable coins, and the banks were like, "Whoa, wait a second, no, you can't do that because we will never survive." And obviously, they're all in bed together, and so that's why the stablecoin thing has become such a big issue. Is because the banks, it's their only way to be able to compete. And so it's going to have to be a come together moment. Just like the Beatles. Just like the Beatles said. Come together right now. Come together right now. Over beef? Over beef. I don't know what they say there. I'm not a Beatles fan. Hate me. I don't care. I'm not a Beatles fan. I hate the Beatles, to be honest with you. If this doesn't get passed and put in front of the president's desk, I say by July, I think everyone feels that generally the window will have closed because of the midterm, says Adrian Wall, managing director of the Digital Sovereignty Alliance, which advocates for pro-crypto policies. It will be a tremendous setback that will be very difficult for us to overcome. Okay. In a statement, Summer Mersinger, CEO of the Blockchain Association, said the path to a workable agreement is clearer than it was a month ago. I do not have. House. Yeah, I don't know. We want to. I'll save that for a space. I was watching some of the testimony from one of the former commanders in chiefs. Let's see. Here we go. This is Brian Gardner, Chief Washington Strategist at Stifel. The Iran war is making it harder to pass the crypto bill, and the calendar is becoming the enemy of this bill. These guys need to start work. The sessions that these guys work are absolutely insane. Well, there's our Tangem wallet ad again. We're not at the same one down here. What do you guys think of this? Does this work? Is it fun to look at that? There's some fun things to look at. Hopefully we'll add more. If we bring on more partners, we can sell some of that space, all that kind of stuff, and then hopefully there'll be some opportunities to give away some money coming up soon on this show. That's kind of my goal, is to start bringing in some giveaway stuff and not doing like what we did before and like advertising like crazy, because we're gonna pretty soon we're moving everything into the Discord, and so it's just gonna be like to actually reward people in the community, not to just attract bots and people who are just trying to win giveaways. That's not what we're doing. But I would like to start rewarding our community. So that's the plan here. All right, this headline got me super excited. As you know, I lost a bet with AJ about XRP hitting $10 by Christmas last year. But now someone's saying that it could hit $1,000 under full institutional adoption scenarios. Let's read this. XRP has the potential to reach 4 digits. I'm all for it. But now the bet's over, so I don't care. My buddy Jay Claver, I got a chance to meet him. I met him a couple times, but we actually chatted for a little bit in New York. Let's see, he was on Paul Barron. Let's see what he had to say. The discussion emphasized the ripple strength in XRP's legal standing following this partial court victory against CC. They argued that full regulatory clarity could unlock broader use cases, particularly in bank interoperability, cross-border settlement expansion, and institutional scale liquidity provisioning. All right. Let's see. Give me some juice, man. We'll have to go back. Well, we can do, is there more? No. What is this about Elizabeth Warren? Elizabeth Warren says Trump's banking regulator looking into his family's crypto bank application. The public deserves transparency. That fucker made a lot of money. That Trump family made a lot of money on crypto. The major theme was the potential approval of an XRP ETF. If approved, it may attract significant institutional inflows, be marketed as an asymmetric upside asset, be bundled into diversified ETFs and annuity products, trigger supply compression as circulating tokens are locked into investment vehicles, and such structural demand combined with constrained supply could push prices materially higher. Let's look at this abomination. XRP has been on a horrible decline from $3.64 down to $1.42. For anybody that is not good at math, currently we're down 60%. We wicked down 69%. Sorry. The whole idea of where is this thing going? Where is this thing going to stop? Because look, we blew past this one, past this wick. We blew past this wick. We blew past this wick. We blew past this wick. We created a new wick. I feel like we're going to go back down to the 50-cent range. If we have another 60%, though, have to drop another 60%. That's a big number. But we see it. Look, it went up that fast. It could certainly go down that fast too. A quick wick. Look at that wick. See a lot of these scam wicks. That's heavy manipulation. So you could see another big ass wick to take you down here. It doesn't have to stay there. You can just wick down there. Scam wick. That's why they're called scam wicks. Yeah. Set your orders. I would set an order. I mean, what fucking long? Set like 100x long at 60 cents. Why not? If a scam wicks down there and picks it up, and then all of a sudden it rips back up to $1 something, you're a hero. Try shit like that every now and then. Put just a little bit into it and try it. Put it on isolated. Don't put it on cross so you don't get fucking your whole account added if something happens, if it gets wonky. Just put a couple bucks into it and give it a try. But make sure that you use code JChains on BitUnex to do that. Simple trade-off. We give you good advice. Join the trade squad. Join the team. Join the squad. I wish I could like call that thing up on demand. I should figure out a way to do that. It might be after the morning macro one. Make sure you guys check that out. We had a great episode last night. We talked about that earlier on this show. We had Bits of Wealth on. Definitely had a great conversation. All right, so here's XRP. Back to the chart. XRP on the weekly. I would say, we don't really have. Look, we don't really have a whole lot to go off of. For where we could draw like some support and resistance, right? Because we kind of just blew right through this zone on our way up. So, we'll have to, I would have to put, what is this? Not even up. There we go. So looks like we could probably stop about $1.13. That's obviously where this wick is. That would make sense. And then from there, we're not going to stop until we get damn near close to 75 cents. Does that worry the XRP army? Does that worry you guys? You look at this chart, you zoom out onto the weekly. I mean, let's look at something else on the weekly, though. To be fair. Let's be fair. Let's look at Bitcoin on the weekly. Doesn't look all that sexy either. I need to, there we go. Let's get that back here. All right, so we got some nice volume where we're at. Look, we got all of this volume here that we spent most of 2024 in. Damn near all of 2024 in this zone, right? That's where we're at right now. We could do the same thing. We could just chop for a while here, take another trip down memory lane. I would love to see us go into this box. I would love to see that. I don't know where I'm going to put an order. I told you guys probably, at 49 will be the first one. I'll put something at about 45 and then, definitely something here at 39. And those will be spot orders for sure. I will definitely I'm not anticipating a crazy long like that for Bitcoin. I would probably venture to say, like, if we go down into the opportunity box, like I'm liking to call this, right? Because look, remember, this is just the BitUnex chart, so it doesn't go past this, and we could look at it on another chart and to get some more ideas. But look, we have an opportunity here where clearly it was fighting here. It fought here where it broke through, got rejected at the top here, came back down to the bottom here, and then broke through, right? And look, at the same point right here on August 24th, or August 5th of 2024, we hit support on a scam wick to the same part that we hit on January 8th where we scam wicked up. And so that to me is the beginning of, that should be the basis, the absolute basis of where we are going to see when we get our floor confirmation. I'd like to say it's going to be right around there, that 49. And I could be wrong. This could have been it. This could be it right here. We do have a nice reversal candle. We'd make a chance to kind of, come back at it. You never know. Could make one more attempt to come back and bounce and then roll at 60K. Or we break down below. If we break down below, obviously, look, the volume tells the same story. We're going to get through. There might be some stops. Even this right here. We get a little beefy right here, but this is a great stopping point right here around the 41,000, 41,500. That could be a potential great stop zone. David left the XRP army several years ago. Was top 5% holder by individual wallet size. They print more XRP than the Fed prints USD. That is definitely the truth. Definitely the truth. All right, let's look at Bitcoin on a different time. Let's look at it in the 48. See what's going to happen today here. So yesterday I put out a tweet that I was looking for a short. I ended up taking profit because I was in profit. I ended up getting 2 trades in, getting a little profit on both. But it didn't end up doing exactly what I wanted to. As you can see right here, it was probably 6 o'clock, 5 or 6, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe between 4 and 6 when I got into the trade. And I was expecting for the daily to get touched. I think it was like, somewhere up in here. I was damn near close to the top. I do know that 73.2 maybe is where I was. So, yeah, somewhere around here. And so that's where I got in, fully expecting that we were going to come back down to the previous daily here, right? At this point, it was down here at like 71.2. Somewhere around here. Like this is, and look at these 2 red lines, by the way. This is the 15-minute space. So this was the top and the bottom of the 15-minute yesterday, which if you didn't get a chance to watch the show last night, Mike went through that a little bit more, but I'll be watching that today. So what you do is you measure the move of the candle on the 15-minute chart right at 9:30 when the market opens, okay? And then you wait for it to do a move. You wait for it to go for either a rip or a dip, come back down, and then from there it makes a decision to either go back or go up. And this is after the first candle closes. By the way, you have to measure the first 15-minute candle. So at 9:05, you really start tracking the price, and by 10 o'clock, you should be able to decide which way you have gone. And so far, look, like you can see, like yesterday, what had happened right at 9:15. Is there was a power struggle. It went all the way down, and then it went all the way up. It came up, came down, and then shot up. And then look, so like, obviously, if you were to have got on this candle, once it got back outside the zone and ripped that up there to rip the 1.8% with a little leverage on there, man, you're pretty good. We'll see what happens today. It's 9:14 right now. Over on the East Coast. That means we got 15 minutes till the markets open up. I had said earlier, probably not going to do a whole lot of trading today, but I am going to be watching this move. If it's very clear what's going to be happening, maybe I'll get in and I'll keep you guys posted. I will get definitely the Discord. We're going to be working on that, trying to get that operationally sound for everybody. And then, calls like that are going to go in there. Charts, indications, all that stuff when we're making moves as a crew. The whole point is to really to collectively talk about what we're doing, and that's my goal. So I got some work to do to finish the Discord, obviously, but we will get there. We will get there. All right, let's look at. I got a ton of tabs open. Let's look. Let's just go through. I know it's 9:15. Appreciate you guys being here. Definitely go ahead and smash the like button. We're just going to go through a little bit more research right now. Let's see. Right now, I would say, and this is the 48-minute chart. I don't need it. So we are headed down. Let's take a look at. So here's my order of how I'm looking usually. I'll take a look at. We did the weekly. All right, I want to look at how are things looking on the weekly. All right, that's the first step. How's the week look? Looking pretty good. Could just be a little bit of a correction because look. That being said, that's like the path that we're on, right? Okay, let's see if we can get is there a clean under? All right, that might change when we get a little bit in. So you can see very clearly we are heading down. Let me erase some of this. The week is looking good so far, but we effectively could still pump this week up to almost 82,000 and still not break the structure of this downtrend. You're in a downtrend until you're not. You have to break the structure, and then you start using support and resistance to see where where you got to start planning your next opportunity. But with that being said, we could still massively pump, and that is another from here up to here is another 13%. So we could see that happen. Obviously probably not going to happen because it's Thursday. Liquidity is a little bit thinner. Moves can be a little bit more exaggerated when liquidity is thinner. So who knows? Maybe we see that thing. Maybe we see it pump up to 82 this week. But that being said, I don't believe that. I believe we're going to maybe go around here, flip around here for a little bit, and still continue down. Just a little bit. Look, in this same move, we have this right here, right? We have this entire structure that was a little bit of a relief rally. We could be experiencing the same thing. From this wick to this wick was 20%. We talked about this yesterday, right? From this wick to 20% is right now. Like, that's where we're at. So we, in theory, could be done roughly. Look, there's some other wicks and shit. In theory, could be done with our relief rally, and we continue back on down. In that being the case, if it does, get your shorts ready. If we happen to break structure here and we break up out of here, you're ready to go along. But what's the catalyst? That we're watching the news, we're reading, we're looking at this stuff every single day. I want to start looking to see if there's any more information from countries coming out, who's buying Bitcoin, if anybody's buying it. This would be the time to fucking do it. They were a little more vocal when the shit was 100,000. Now it's on discount. Why is nobody talking about it? Because they're loading up. Swim with the whales. We looked at the BlackRock stuff today. We looked at the ETFs last 4 days in a row. It has been positive inflow by a lot. BlackRock is setting the tone. Swim with the whales. This is the XRP Bitcoin chart. Looks a little bit more violent. Whipsaw opportunity there. The Solana chart, we looked at that. That thing is potentially breaking out of this bearish downtrend, bearish continuation. Let's see, we got the Bitcoin open interest chart. This we're gonna have to take probably start looking at a little bit more. So that's a chart we're gonna be looking at. What else we got here? Longs versus short. Let me refresh this just to make sure. I feel like, yeah, that was the same numbers we were looking at before. Now we're a little bit closer. So on the 4 hour, you got a little bit more people who are short than long. On the 1 hour, you got a little bit more people who are short than long. On the 12 hour, a little more people short than long. And on the daily, more people are long than short. Lower time frames are looking bearish. Larger time frames are looking bullish to people, I guess. I don't know. So can we see anything in correlation to the price? Is that what we have here? Yeah. So do we see anything? It's like the ETF stuff, right? When you have a bigger concentration of green, of people trying to go long, the price was going up. Scatters. That tells me that it's a seller's market, right? When it's just a back and forth scatter, but the price goes down, that means that you definitely have more sellers. And then you go back into a buyer's market and the price goes up. We'll see. Although I saw this was really interesting. Definitely something we want to start looking at a little bit more. The heat map. Look, we cleared out all of this leverage. All of this leverage. This is what? 24-hour? We need to put this on the weekly. Or the 3-day, because you'll see. Don't get crazy with me, man. We're going to keep it on the 24-hour. I have to log into this thing. Come on. Load. There you go. There's the BitUnext one, by the way. I'm sure you guys saw it before I did. But if you want to join the trade squad, scan that QR code. You could also, I don't know if it's in the, it will be in the description for the replay. I got to make sure that it goes in there in the morning. But if you, there's a link you could just click to get yourself on the trade team over there on BitUnext. I'm going to be launching a whole new campaign very soon here, so be on the lookout for that. And then we're building our team, building our squad. We crossed over 2 million in volume yesterday. Let's go! Ooh. Let's go. We're averaging, I think, every couple days now. We're doing like $1 million in volume. So shout out to the squad over there trading. Let's go. Keep it up. Let's make that money. Let's do the right thing. And stack our chips. You know, don't be. I've got a new strategy, right? Like, I will every now and then, and I know that, so I'm trying to do the 10K challenge, right? And you could see every now and then on the rotational graphic where we're at. I've actually got to update where we're at. Let me see. Let me pull up BitUnext. So we're actually, I think the graphic says like 1260. We're at 1351. So we're doing a little bit better than the graphic says. But every now and then I'm taking some of that and I'm taking the money off the table and putting it into the spot account, right? So you always want to be taking your money off the table so you don't accidentally throw on too much into a trade. You know, it's like taking your profit off the table, put it over to the spot account, and then, you see what happens. You can turn that into Bitcoin, watch it grow. I'm keeping it in stables right now until we see the bottom, until we see the next move down. Once we see the next move down, from that point, I will aggressively be buying Bitcoin. And I think most people should be too, and most people will be. I think that's where we're at as far as, PTSD, expectations, all that stuff. Was there any other charts we want to look at? I think that's it, to be honest with you. I think that's it for now. So I will be doing some more content coming up pretty soon here, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be doing some other stuff. I'm really enjoying this show, really enjoying kind of like bringing you guys like along the journey of like all the shit that I do in the morning, just to, I just sit at my computer, and now, I organize it a little bit different, obviously, because to present it to people. But, just going through what I go through, it starts from, and you can do this too, right? It all started from me going into Google and setting Google alerts for all the different tokenization, RWAs, Bitcoin, ETFs, all sorts of things, all different keywords that get me stories, and that shapes my narrative. I read that, I look at the charts, I start to form my opinions on where we're going, and now we're doing this together. And I think like the way that I present it is gonna be, and I hope you're enjoying this. I know that I am. Some people that I've talked to said they're really enjoying this. And things will be evolutionary. We'll make some changes as time goes on to how things are done. I would like to integrate more, maybe like a reaction to some videos where we're playing something that maybe an institution is saying about crypto, and we can voice our opinion on there. I want to start adding stuff like that in here, and just way that we're reacting to what other people are saying as well. I think that would be a fun thing. But again, it's an evolutionary thing. I appreciate you guys being here. This is going to wrap it up for today. Another successful morning macro as far as I'm concerned. So please do me a solid, smash the like button on your way out of here. Number one thing you can do to help me out, absolutely. So if you are watching on YouTube, do that, smash the like button. If you're watching on LinkedIn, I believe there's a way to like it. And then if you are watching on X, you got to do one more step. Not only do you hit the heart, But I need you to repost the video out, tag some friends, and then make sure that you come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. We will be back. So that is going to do it for today. Appreciate you all. Make sure you're living by the 1% better thing. And remember, try this 930 thing out. I'm going to probably, I know that Mike was talking a little bit about this. I think he was going to create a video. I'm going to create a video about this too, just with the way that I talk about it and how I'm looking at it and from my perspective. And I'm going to start shooting some more videos. So be on the lookout and let's grow. That's it. Ciao for now, amigos.